Nobody ever wrote these down. There was no handbook, no company policy, nothing in the CDL manual. You learned them the way you learn anything real, by getting it wrong once, in front of men who'd been doing it 30 years, and never getting it wrong again. That was the trade looking after itself. And most of these still get followed by the drivers who were taught properly by somebody who cared enough to teach them. But there are fewer of those every year. So let's get them on the record. 10 unwritten rules, counting down. And number 1 is the one that mattered most. Number 10, you park like a man who knows somebody else has to get out of here at 4 in the morning. Straight in the hole, not at an angle, not 18 inches over the line, so the fella beside you has to fold his mirror to get in. And if there's room, you back in. So when you leave, you're not doing a 40-point turn in the dark with your lights sweeping through 6 sleepers. It costs you 30 seconds. That's the whole price. 30 seconds of your life to not be the reason somebody else's day starts badly. Number 9, and this one's gone downhill more than most. If a man's got his curtain shut, that's a closed door. You treat it like one. You don't pull in beside him and let a reefer scream 2 feet from his head all night when there's an empty row 40 yards away. You don't sit there with your APU or your engine running right in his window because you didn't feel like walking. He's got 8 hours to be a person before he has to be a professional again. Don't take them off him for the sake of a shorter walk to the building. Number 8, the whole conversation without a single word. A man goes past you, and when he's clear of your bumper, you flash your headlights. That means, you're clear, come on over, I've got you. And he comes back with his trailer lights, a couple of blinks, which means thank you. That's it. That's the entire exchange. 2 strangers at 70 miles an hour closing quarters at night, and it's handled. Politely, precisely, in under 2 seconds. Now, half of you are already typing to tell me it's done differently where you run, and you're right. There's regional variation in this, and there always was. Settle it in the comments. I want to see the arguments. But everywhere it's done, it means the same thing. I see you, and I'm looking out for you. Number 7, when you passed a Smoky, you said so. On the radio playing with the mile marker. And here's the part that matters. It wasn't only for other trucks. 4-wheelers with a CB got it too, and welcome. Nobody charged for it. Nobody asked who you drove for, or whether you were union, or what kind of freight you were pulling. The information went out for free to whoever was listening, because the man behind you might be having a worse week than you, and a ticket might be the thing that breaks him. That's about as decent as an industry ever gets. Number 6, somebody's setting up to back into a hole. You stop. You do not cut behind him. You do not creep up so he loses his room. And you absolutely do not touch that horn. Backing a trailer into a tight space with an audience is hard enough. Backing it with a man leaning on his air horn is how equipment gets damaged, and how a new driver decides this job isn't for him. You sit still and you let him work. And if he's struggling, you either say nothing or you get out and spot him. Those are the 2 options. There isn't a third. Number 5. The fuel island is not your personal problem to leave behind. Squeegee back in the bucket. Hose coiled the way you found it. Your trash in the can, not on the ground. And whatever you did with your jugs overnight, that does not go on the pavement for somebody else to look at. Small stuff. But every truck stop in America that turned into a dump got there one driver at a time. And everyone that's still decent is being held up by men who take the extra 10 seconds. Number 4. Coming down through a small town at 2 in the morning, you leave that engine brake alone. Those signs didn't appear because towns hate truckers. They appeared because somebody's kid kept getting woken up at 2 in the morning, and enough somebody's complained. And now there's a law and a fine. Same in a truck stop lot. 200 men asleep, and you come in on the Jake. That's not a sound. That's a decision. You can hold a truck back with your gears and your brakes for the last half mile. Everybody knows you can. Number 3. You see something wrong on another man's truck, you tell him. Every time. Low tire, light out, strap gone loose, trailer door not latched properly, mud flap dragging, anything. You get on the radio, or you flash him, or you walk over at the next stop and say it to his face. It takes 10 seconds, and it's the difference between a small repair and a very bad afternoon. And when somebody does it for you, you say thank you and you mean it. You don't get defensive about it. He just did you a favor that could have cost you your truck. Number 2. Somewhere ahead of you there's a driver who's newer than you, or heavier than you, or in an older truck than yours. He's crawling up the grade. He's taking 3 pulls to get into a spot you'd have hit first time. He's doing 62 when you want to do 68. You go around him and you keep your mouth off the radio. Because every single one of us was that man. Everyone. And the difference between a driver who lasts 20 years and one who quits in 6 months is very often just whether the men around him made it survivable while he learned. And number 1, this is the one. You did not leave a man on the shoulder. Broken down, blown tire, sat there with his hood up at midnight in January. You stopped. Or if you truly couldn't, you got on the radio and you kept talking until somebody who could had it in hand. You didn't ask what company he drove for. You didn't ask whether he'd have done it for you. You stopped, because the road is a long way from anywhere, and the only thing out there that could help him was another one of us. Everything else on this list is manners. That one is the actual thing. That's what people mean when they say the road used to be a brotherhood. Not the songs and not the chrome. That. A man in trouble and somebody pulling over. So that's my 10, and I've obviously missed some. Tell me the one I left off. And tell me the one that's still alive where you run. Because I don't believe for a second this is all gone. I think it's just gone quiet. And if you're new and you're reading this list thinking nobody ever told you any of it, now somebody has. Go be the man who tells the next one. If you believe these old road rules are worth passing on, subscribe and ride along for more stories like this. I'm Dale. Keep the shiny side up, and I'll see you down the road.